Welcome back to Mommy Talk. Today I'm going to be doing some really highly requested videos that have to do with cloth diapers. So as you know, I started cloth diapering with Zuko, and ever since I started this journey, you guys have been asking me a lot of questions about the whole process, including some of the basic questions like how to get started, because I know it can be really overwhelming. So for this particular video, I'm going to be doing kind of like a cloth 101. So the first and foremost decision, obviously, is deciding whether or not you want to cloth diaper. My opinion might be a little biased, but I definitely think that you should at least consider it. But if you do make the decision to at least kind of dive into it a little bit, I know that it can be like really overwhelming to try and figure out kind of the cloth diapering world. When you first start out, or when I first started out at least, I was so overwhelmed by the amount of information, and honestly I kind of felt like giving up before I even started, just because there was just so much information and it just seemed like there was just so many options and so many just everything. I kind of wanted to break it down a little bit and take it step by step, so that if you are considering cloth, you're not going to feel like, oh my gosh, there's literally just too much, I'm just going to stick with disposables. So that's why I wanted to do kind of like a video series instead of like all in one video. That way you kind of get like one step by step and everything kind of broken down, and you can take it just like one step at a time. So the first thing that I recommend when you start cloth diapering is deciding what kind. And that in and of itself can be a really big decision. And if you are an inexperienced cloth diaperer, I recommend that you try different types. You don't have to just like make the decision to start out with one and only one type of diaper. I have all sorts of cloth diapers, and it really took me trying out the different types to figure out kind of like what I liked best and what worked for me, because what works for me definitely does not work for everyone. And I feel like we can all agree that that's kind of just parenting in general. What works for one mom doesn't work for another. So for this video, I'm going to be going over the different types of cloth diapers. So on my lap here, I have a stack of cloth diapers. These are in no particular order, and they're not like my favorite diapers or my favorite prints or anything. They're actually just what I kind of grabbed off the shelf just so that I could give you an example of each diaper. So the first example I'm going to show you is a cover. This particular cloth diaper happens to be in snaps, but they do also come with a Velcro option. But we'll get more into that later. So the cover is basically just the outer waterproof layer. So pretty much every cloth diaper that you have is going to have this inner layer of something called PUL, and that is the waterproof layer that prevents the leaking of cloth diapers. But this, as you can see, is literally just the shell of the diaper. And with these kind of cloth diapers, you have to use something like flats, pre-folds, inserts, and etc., which I'll get into more in a second, but this is basically what a cover is. It's literally just the outer cloth diaper layer, and you don't just put this on your baby by itself. This doesn't have any absorbency or anything like that. It is just the outer layer, so you have to use something else with the cover. The next example is a pocket diaper, and again, this is in snaps. So a pocket diaper is basically, it's the same thing as a cover, but it has this fabric layer with, as you can tell, a pocket. And this is where the inserts go inside of. You can use this as a cover if you wanted to just lay it on top, but the purpose of the pocket diaper is so that you put the insert, which I happen to have a flour sack towel insert with me. I have this in the boy fold if you haven't seen cloth diaper flour sack towel tutorial, but you take the insert and you just take it right inside of the pocket. And then you've got this nice layer of usually fleece. So you've got the absorbency, the absorbent layer inside the pocket, and then you've got the fabric layer on top, and then you just, snap it closed or whatever. And that's your diaper. With the cover, you would lay it like right on top and then just, fold it or whatever. And that's just one way to use it. Again, gonna go into that much later. The next type of diaper is called an all-in-one. This is where the inserts are sewn directly into the diaper. So you can see this one here is sewn directly onto the diaper. So you don't take them out, you just wash it like this. They don't come out. They're sewn directly into the diaper. So you just layer it like that, and then you just put it right on your baby. This is probably one of the most simplest forms of cloth diapering, and definitely one of my more higher preferences. There's no stuffing required, no folding or anything, and you just simply put it together and snap it on the baby. The next form of diaper is called an all-in-two, and that's really similar to a like all-in-one / cover hybrid. And basically you kind of have like that cover kind of idea where there's no pockets or anything like that. You can see there's 2 inserts for this particular one, and they both snap right into the diaper. So you've got this bottom layer of fleece on the diaper, and then you've got the top layers that just kind of snap right into the diaper. And you'll find that with pretty much most all-in-twos, I believe, that they either like snap right into the diaper or somehow attach to it. And that's an all-in-two. So it's kind of like just layering the inserts right onto the diaper. So it's kind of like an all-in-one where the inserts kind of get like really attached, but you can also take the inserts out to separate them to make like washing and or drying easier. So there you have it. Those are the most basic types of cloth diapers. You have your covers, your pockets, your all-in-ones, and your all-in-twos. For all the categories for cloth diapers, there are like subcategories, which I will cover in a different video so as not to kind of overwhelm you if you are kind of just starting out this journey. However, I did just kind of want to break it down visually for you to see all the different types that are out there. If you want to know my personal preference, I do prefer to use all-in-ones and pockets. Those are my favorite kinds of cloth diapers. I did not find that covers worked for me very well. I found that putting on the absorbent layer and then the extra step of putting on the outer cover layer was just a little bit too much work for me. So I just found that covers personally did not work for me, but I know plenty of women that that's all they do. That's all they use is just pre-folds and covers and flats. So like I said, I just recommend that you try even just one of each, see what kind of works for you, what doesn't, and you can even practice on like teddy bears or something if you're pregnant and don't have a chance to practice on a real baby yet, and just see what works for you. Besides that, that's all I really have to say. So please let me know in the comment section down below if this was helpful at all to you, if there's more that you want to know about cloth diapers, if there's specific questions that I can answer about cloth diapers if you're just starting out, and make sure to give me a huge thumbs up on this video because it just makes my heart happy. Make sure to subscribe if you aren't already. Hit that bell notification if you are subscribed so you never miss an update from me, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye guys.